Quantum, you're right. You're the man that is totally stable, and I am the whack job. I'm insane. By the way, buy some merch. We have shirts with Christian straight men on it that may or may not be Quantum that I made in AI. Link below in the description. Skip it up and that up. So there's a small part of me that thinks that Quantum does things, as my pants get caught under my chair. Quantum does things for attention, but then there's a big part of me that just thinks he's crazy and can't help himself. This kind of solidifies that he's doing this because he's crazy and can't help himself. Well, recently, you know, we talked about in October how his ex-wife came forward and said that Quantum fantasized about ending the Ackman's entire family in a systematic order on Christmas to make sure there was as many family members at the Ackman's home, and he would end them in a certain order so the last person left would be the most traumatized. But he said, don't worry about it. That's only if I have nothing to lose. So he kind of has nothing to lose at this point, so I'm a little concerned. His wife also had a restraining order placed against him, which Quantum tried to have removed. It's a 2-year restraining order, and the judge denied his request, thankfully. You'll see why in a minute. It gets better. There's more that we have to go into before I get to the crescendo of this video with Quantum TV. Now, Anonymous, who used to be a former Discord mod for Quantum, he actually put some interesting information forward. Now, if you look at Quantum's videos where he tries to discredit me and Anonymous and his ex-wife and anyone who puts him to task ever, he makes it like he was the one who filed for divorce first. It was his choice. He's trying to make it like he's the victim and she's the victor, his wife. Well, no. His wife filed for divorce first. This is on Anonymous's community tab. Take a look. Quantum continues to lie to his followers, now claiming that it was his idea to get divorced simply because he filed first. Well, let's look at the real timeline. Evidence. First, on 5/1/2023, she filed for a restraining order. Then later, on 5/19/2023, the judge granted a 2-year restraining order. Only after the restraining order and crying online about loving and losing her did he finally file for divorce on 5/31/2023. Next, on 8/21/2023, Quantum contested the restraining order, asking it to be removed, but thankfully on 10/6, he lost the dismissal and it remains. So let me ask you, does it look like Quantum left her or she left him? Now, he may have filed for divorce first, but you don't put a restraining order against somebody if you want to be with them. And if you're still thinking that maybe she got the restraining order out of spite, wait, it gets better. We're not done yet. We're not done. All the pieces will fall into place. Well, anyway, here's the crescendo. Here it is. This is Tickle Television Limited Liability Corporation. Captain Breastfed on the hood of his wife's car, keeping her from leaving. Anonymous 007 explains what happened here. You gonna deflect off of this one, Quantum? Probably is. He's probably going to say the picture's blurry, so you can't tell it's him, even though you can. Newly released photo shows Jermel Quantum Tickle Television TV jumping on the hood of his ex-wife's SUV to try to stop her from leaving him after she finally found the courage to leave an abusive relationship. There it is, man. And also, too, she was in the Discord and she wrote this. April 30th, there was a standoff at the car. He got far enough away and I made a break for the driver's side. Before I could leave the parking lot, he jumped on the hood of the Rogue to stop me from fleeing. That night, he found out I wanted an injunction. That's why he did it. Let's see you talk your way out of this one, Quantum, which I'm sure you will because your narcissism knows no bounds. But let's continue. Someone wrote, he's blanking nuts. The ex-wife responded back with, I tried to take a video, but I was on the phone with 911 and my phone wouldn't let me record, so I took a quick photo to prove it. And you did. There it is. There's the evidence. Like, Quantum, what are you going to say that's not you? What are you going to say? I'm trying to think because he will make any excuse and go to any length to be right and try to deflect any guilt. Okay? Are you going to say that this picture was taken as a joke? Are you going to say it's not you? Are you going to say that, I don't even know, that you were doing this in self-defense? Like, what were you doing? Were you gonna stop the car from? You were trying to stop the car from moving. I can't even. I'm not. Well, I talk to fake birds. I'm somewhat insane, but I'm not completely psychotic. I don't know what he'll think of, but he'll think of something. Mark my words, because I'm putting up this video. He will come out with something to either discredit me or try to make it that this photo is fake or whatever the case may be. It's not fake. You could go check out, and a shout out to Anonymous 007. Anonymous TV advice. Go check him out on YouTube, and you could see the pictures for yourself. What's funny about Quantum is he's on a different platform. He's on TikTok, and he's becoming like a dating advice guru on there, which is quite weird. People are buying into it. However, I knew the psycho would eventually come out on TikTok with Quantum, because he had insane videos up we watched yesterday during one of my live streams. Make sure to check out my live stream channel, RTU Streams, link below in the description. And then he was saying nuts. He wasn't saying stuff like this before, but then he went full tilt Quantum, where you shouldn't date a woman with single friends, because if they have single friends, that means the woman that you're dating will be more inclined to cheat. He essentially was saying that anyone on an app like Facebook, you can't trust him on there. He wasn't saying this stuff for a while, and if you didn't know Quantum, you would think, oh wow, he actually has some sound advice. But I'm like, I know he's too nuts to not have the mask slip, and it did. He's starting to become the good old Quantum we know and despise on YouTube. On TikTok, I even saw people, because there was a lot of people that were agreeing with Quantum for a while, and his newer videos where he's getting shockingly weird, where people were like, so you're saying anyone who uses Facebook or Snapchat wants to cheat? You're saying that any woman who has single friends, you shouldn't date them? Hey, Quantum, what happens if you start dating a woman and one of her closest childhood friends breaks up with their boyfriend, and then what? You're going to break up with the woman because now her childhood friend is single, but she wasn't single when you first started dating this woman? It's really weird stuff. And at first he wasn't weird, and he's getting millions of views on some of his videos on TikTok. I mean, it's starting to fall apart because he's insane and he can only keep the mask on for so long. But he got a following on there, and he's getting views. And he's also not putting that on YouTube. Could you imagine he put dating advice and your divorce survival guide on YouTube? He would be laughed off the platform. Everyone knows he's a nut job on YouTube, and people are starting to realize that over on TikTok. Also, YouTube, I gotta say something, and I think this is the right time to say it. You're very selective on who you enforce the terms of service with. You were fighting, kicking, and screaming to do anything about Sniper Wolf, because that's your golden girl, and when Quantum was caught doing many things wrong, he faced no repercussions. Karma's a bitch in other ways, though. His life is not doing too well now. But here is a guy who we have with picture evidence jumping on the hood of his ex-wife's car because he found out that she filed an injunction. Anything, YouTube? Anything? Hello? Hello? Oh, crickets? Or, is this okay, but a cucumber near someone's mouth, poorly photoshopped near their mouth? That's a bridge too far. Look, I keep talking about you, Quantum, because you made 2022 on YouTube insane for a lot of people. And it's not that I want to talk about you, but you continue to do things that are newsworthy, like this. You need help, Quantum. You could come after my credibility. You could call me every name in the book. You could go after your wife's credibility. Do you realize the common denominator is you? If you didn't do stupid crap first and foremost, I wouldn't talk about you. But you're jumping on the roof of your wife's car. It's newsworthy. But do you realize that you always seem to be the one in these situations? I'm the only one who's right. I'm the only one. Everyone around me is terrible except me. Do you think maybe that if you every time something happens, everyone else you think is wrong and you blame everyone else, that maybe you're the problem? It can't be a coincidence that every single time you catch yourself in a pickle, pun intended, that it's everyone else's fault except yours. But I don't think you'll ever see it. I'd love to see you explain your way out of this one, Quantum, but you won't. What you'll do is pretend this didn't exist and make a video of you walking in the woods with bokeh effect on in the background, saying how your life is great and no one should ever trust us, even though we have picture evidence right here. Look, I don't know your wife either, okay? I've never met your wife. I've never talked to your wife. She could be a liar. But here is the thing. I know you lie constantly. You're a compulsive liar. And I don't know your wife. And when I see pictures like this, it kind of makes me believe her. Well, at least there's this. I know you lie about everything. I don't know your wife. And she comes forward with a picture. Who am I going to believe? You or her? Think real hard about it, Quantum. Lay in bed and make about 1,000 more TikTok videos crying about it. By the way, his original TikTok name was What No Contact Did to Me. I guess he realized that made him seem like a psychopath. Well, he is a psychopath. And he changed his name to Your Divorce Survival Guide. Let that sink in as well. This is Richard Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. I am thoroughly tickled.
I am thoroughly tickled.